I'd like to call the committee of whole for protection to persons and property to order. Declaration of pecuniary interest, there's none. Delegations and presentations, we have one presentation from Mr. Jim Crocker from Deep River Pickleball.
You want me to go ahead, Sean?
Hello.
Hello.
We're ready for your presentation this morning.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. So thank you, everybody. I'm just going to share the screen, which is the handout that we sent to everybody. Thank you for your time. My name is Jim Crocker. With me is my pickleball partner, Hannah Ward. So we are 2/3 of Deep River Pickleball. We appreciate the time this morning. We understand we have 15 minutes. Deep River Pickleball, we have over 60 members who have joined our community app on Spawned. Hannah and I have been playing pickleball for about 3 years in Deep River. We did a lot of the organization last year at the Yacht Club in Deep River of their programs. Not all of it, but most of it. For the winter, we organized 3 nights at the schools in Deep River. There was just an incredible interest in growing interest in pickleball over the summer. So we organized time at the schools. Hannah and I in the fall went off and we became certified as level 1 pickleball instructors, and which is good from a training and a liability perspective. And it brings a consistent approach to teaching pickleball. And from there, we have run a series of clinics here in Deep River. Over the winter, we just completed the Winter Carnival. The town sponsored an introduction to seniors to pickleball, and we had a great turnout there. Why are we here today? We want to just highlight the pickleball opportunity. There's opportunity for all sorts of communities and for clubs. So we just want to highlight the pickleball opportunity in Laurentian Hills. And if there's interest, discuss how we might actually collaborate in helping with that opportunity if there is any interest. In terms of what is pickleball, I know some of you have heard about it, but some of you probably may not have. Pickleball is a racket sport that is a cross with tennis and ping pong. It has been around for many years, but for whatever reason during COVID, it really, really exploded. And it has become the fastest growing sport in North America. Hannah's background is actually from Europe, from Britain, and we're starting to see the same kind of explosion there. For clubs, especially, and communities, clubs that were looking for new members and that kind of thing, pickleball has really become a savior. It's really a once in a generation, which I know that sounds big, but it's like a once in a generation new sport opportunity in terms of attracting residents, members, that kind of thing. And there's a couple of reasons for that. And one of the reasons for that pickleball is so popular is that from the first time you go out and play pickleball, you can have fun. So nothing against golf or tennis or squash or anything else, but to play those sports and have fun, it takes a while to get good at them. Pickleball doesn't have that. Therefore, it has broad appeal across ages and sexes and fitness and all different levels. So you have a really wide group of players who are playing. I'm 66. Hannah is 42. It's you get that kind of mix, male, female, or whatever. It's phenomenal physically, mentally, and it's very much a social sport. The other great thing that pickleball has going for it right now is it really is high profile. You have professional teams being started. Star athletes, are buying into these teams. It's on social media. It's on television. So there's a lot of visibility for this sport as it's getting going. In terms of the Laurentian Hills opportunity, the scarcity in pickleball is actually court space. And so if you've read anything, you may have seen communications from other communities in that. Communities who get behind the curve in terms of having court space are now finding themselves having to scramble to find where can residents, where can members play pickleball. I was out for a bike ride last year, rode up from Deep River into Chalk River, and we actually got talking to a couple of your people working at the town, and we were asking about pickleball courts, and they said, well, check out the ice surface over by the Lions Club. There's pickleball courts already painted there, and we went over there, and it turned out to be absolutely right. I believe there's 2 courts that were painted, I think, prior to COVID, I think by some residents of Chalk River onto the pickleball courts there. So there's room for 2 more courts, and in Chalk River. You may have other locations. I drive to North Bay regularly. I drive by the ice surface in Point Alexander. I haven't stopped in to see how big it is, but probably there's room for 2 courts there. And so we're just wondering if you might have other locations that would be perfect for outdoor summer pickleball. And courts really are the attractor in terms of pickleball. The other opportunity then would be if you have court space and you're interested in that. We've been onto your website, your Laurentian Hills website. You talk about the activities. You talk about being a tourist destination. Pickleball has such broad sort of national interest in that kind of thing. Letting people know that you have pickleball. My wife and I played pickleball together. We're driving back from playing in Petawawa the other day, and I'd forgotten. We stopped into Chalk River just to see the surface again, and forgot how close to the highway the ice surface is. What is it, like 30 seconds off the highway? So from a marketing perspective and the ability for I'm thinking drive-by pickleball tourism, that kind of thing. I would think you're sitting on probably a great opportunity there. You do have a Laurentian Hills Facebook page, recreation Facebook page. So opportunities for social media and marketing, the fact that you have pickleball because of the interest. We think you could certainly, if you had interest in attracting people in, you could do that. You may have noticed this driving back from Ottawa, coming through Cobden. Cobden actually has an electronic sign just past the stoplights in Cobden that advertises during the summer, that advertises the fact that they have pickleball. So they are clearly trying to take advantage of the opportunity. Third part of the opportunity, I think, for Laurentian Hills is get organized. But I think one of the reasons Deep River Pickleball has been quickly successful is because we've been prepared to organize clinics and court times and arrange for people to get together and know what's going on. And I think there'll be the other opportunity in Laurentian Hills. If you've got the courts, you're doing a bit of marketing, you have residents interested, you have tourists interested. If you had organized events, anywhere from clinics and lessons through to just times that have been set aside for open play, all the way through to, and this is certainly one of our visions for this area. We'd love to run a tournament that's advertised way beyond the Ottawa Valley to bring people in. The tournaments that go on always attract a lot of following. So there's opportunities like that to really take advantage of the pickleball opportunity. How we might collaborate. I guess our thinking was the simplest thing is get some help with the courts if you were interested, but getting the lines properly marked onto the courts. The ones we saw last year in Chalk River were faded by now, and I'm not sure whether they're painted on or whether they're tape. And but having them properly painted on would be great from a Laurentian Hills perspective. After that, we'd be happy to help with anything else. If you had pickleball courts laid out in various places, we could certainly help with marketing. If you check out our website, deepriverpickleball.ca, we do a lot of promotion of local events and what's going on. We have this following of rapid following on our community app. So we would definitely let people know, and that would just be part of what we do. If you did want to run lessons and clinics, again, Hannah and I went and we have our certifications. It's good from a consistency perspective in terms of bringing people into pickleball and teaching them. It's also great from a liability perspective. We are covered as a result of the organization, the teaching organization we belong to. We're covered from a liability perspective as instructors. And then certainly if you were interested in running events like round robins and tournaments and whatever, we'd be happy to, share our knowledge and expertise in order to do that. So the collaboration, and relatively simple. I mean, if you were interested in having the courts, if you had the courts and were interested in doing other stuff, we could help with organize the other stuff. In terms of timing, I say ready for June 2023. That's really be ready in time for the peak summer season. People will start to want to play outdoors, probably before then. So if it was ready before then, that would be great. We have organized, Hannah and Karen and I, with the town of Deep River. They will be in the shoulder season coming out of winter into the spring. The town of Deep River is going to paint 6 pickleball courts onto the arena pad indoors in Deep River. So that will cover off the sort of that shoulder season where the weather is a little mixed. And then finally, so that's really the presentation. The final part, number 6, Deep River, Chalk River, Pembroke, Petawawa, we're not Vale, but the story that's at the bottom is very similar. It really comes back to what communities are seeing is if they have the facilities, for people to play good pickleball, it seems to attract people to want to play pickleball. And here's a great example of someone spending a lot more money than they expected somewhere because they were attracted in to play pickleball. So that's our presentation, and thank you. Are there any questions?
Anybody have any questions or comments? Mayor?
Hi, and thank you for your presentation. So I'm Ann Giardini. I'm the mayor of Laurentian Hills.
Hi, Ann.
So we do have active pickleball players in Laurentian Hills, and they've been using, the surfaces in Chalk River, Mountain View, here in Point Alexander, maybe not Mountain View, Point Alexander, and on Goodsman Road.
Okay, yeah.
You mentioned about insurance that you're covered.
Mhm.
So is that only when you're running the clinics, or would
Yes.
that cover participation by,
Yes,
are you
it-
considered a club? What are you?
It's only when we're running clinics or when we're providing instruction and coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I could just follow up on that, in terms of as a club, we are, Deep River Pickleball has grown sort of way faster than we had expected. So we are likely within the next, we are going to get better organized. We weren't sure how it was going to go. We do expect to actually incorporate ourselves as an organization over the next month or so, because we do have lots of ideas and lots of plans, and we do want to be properly organized to do that.
So with that, would you be seeking, say, insurance from the community association? I don't know if that's viable anymore, but certainly when I was playing adult basketball, we got insurance through them.
Yeah, I think, again, not really sure on that. I mean, certainly working, for example, with Deep River or with the schools, they do provide the insurance for the people that are participating. The Ontario Pickleball Association has, what some clubs do is and it's difficult to do, but they make members have to join, right? Residents or members have to join the Ontario Pickleball Association, and they provide pickleball insurance for anybody playing pickleball. So, for example, both Hannah and I are members because it's a good, that's separate from our teaching insurance, but it's a good thing to have.
Okay, I have more questions, but I'll default to Councillor McNulty.
Thank you. Thanks for your presentation this morning. I'm Gary McNulty with Ward 2. Just to touch on Ann's comment about the liability insurance, would your club or name the town of Laurentian Hills as a co-insured or? Yeah, I'm just concerned. Like you said, like when you're coaching or you're teaching or you're giving lessons, you're covered. If there's an actual event or a tournament or something like that, who'd be covering that as far as insurance goes, and would I think I would say that I would feel more comfortable if the town was named as an co-insured.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think we probably would too. Quite on, yeah. And that's generally the way that's certainly around here. That's what's been happening, right? When we ran the seniors clinic at the Winter Carnival, the town looked after the insurance.
Perfect. Any other questions? No? All right. Well, thank you very much for your presentation.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry,
I've just-
Mayor.
One more comment. So we do have one of the resolutions at this meeting will be to reinstate our recreation committee. So this may be something that should go to them, but I believe that we're quite interested in having pickleball, more pickleball
Good.
in our area.
Yeah, good.
So-
And can I just a quick thing? Certainly, you mentioned that you have players already, and that's absolutely for sure. I mean, the pickleball chair at the yacht club lives in Laurentian Hills. A number of the players we play with,
Yes.
they're not just Deep River residents. They live broadly are in this area. So, thank you.
Nope, for sure. All right. Thank you very much for your presentation. And like the mayor said, we have a resolution for the new to reinstate the recreation committee. So I'm sure they'll be in touch.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, moving on. Fire department. Fire chief's report for January. Any questions or comments? All right. Building department, building inspectors report for the month of January. Questions or comments? Mayor Dirty?
Sorry, but I couldn't get my screen up. I have to go back to the fire department. I
Oh.
do have one question.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Kevin's not here. So one of the comments was that there was a snowmobile fire and they couldn't reach the snowmobile. So we couldn't access because of the proximity to the highway, so it was too far in. What happens there?
Most trail
Just,
is be burned. By the time somebody gets there, there's actually not.
okay,
But most times there's nobody will burn unless it's a highway. There's no way getting to it.
it's
anyway.
fine.
Sorry.
And
Okay,
anytime there's a snowmobile fire, it's usually a total loss anyway. The fire department, by the time it gets, any fire department's gonna.
yeah, okay, thank you.
All right, moving back on to the building inspector's report. Any questions? All right, emergency preparedness.
So we have not met in quite some time, and I don't believe there are any meetings on the horizon right now. If CNL decides we need to meet, they will get a hold of us.
Perfect. Police report for update.
So I've yet to meet with the district commander, but we have been talking back and forth, and we will be setting up a meeting. I've had to cancel twice on him due to other meetings going late. But I will be, when I do set up a meeting with him, I will be reaching out to all of council to see if there are any issues that you want discussed when I do meet with him. Thank you.
Other business, nothing for a closed session, so I'll adjourn at 10:20.
I'd like to call to order the committee of the whole for planning. And I see no declarations of pecuniary interest and no delegations or presentations. New business comes up with the Lance rezoning application form. And I think we just take that in as information for now. And okay, we'll set a public meeting date. What would work for you?
So if staff could ask council whether this is going to be a Zoom meeting. This is a public meeting. This is a statutory meeting that you must hold under legislation for a zoning bylaw amendment. So in order for the public to have input, sometimes their stability with their internet connection isn't there, and we could lose anybody that wants to speak at the public meeting. So is council and committee willing to change the venue for the public meeting and perhaps hold it in the Lions Hall, closer to where the application is being proposed for activities? And would it be a 6:30 meeting to allow for public to attend? And we're suggesting that the 13th of April be set for that date, if you want to also stream the meeting. If you don't, we have some alternative meetings on the 12th, possibly. The Lions Hall is available on that date. So we also have notification requirements that we have to adhere to. And we're going to suggest that we also put the ad in the newspaper.
Any discussion on that? Go ahead, Ann.
So both the 12th and the 13th would work for me, and I like the idea of having it at 6:30 so that, it just gives an
Yeah.
alternate time. As far as opening up to the public, what would we have to do to allow that? Do we need to change our procedural?
Would we have to change our code here? Like, no. Any other comments? I'd be okay with that in that time frame. And
Are we streaming as well? That means that Sean would have to be present.
I think so. Yeah, just a public meeting would be all right.
I like the idea of both. For some people that can't get to the meeting, they can still stream.
I hear what you're saying there. My thoughts on the matter is, like Sherry had said, that there's only a certain amount of people that it directly affects, and that's what we're having the meeting for. If you stream it, you're opening up like to
It is a public meeting.
yeah.
Just a thought.
So if it's a public, if we do stream it, then we would have, residents would have the ability to zoom in? No? No. So it would be just for information. They would see what's going on. If you have comments, you have to send them in ahead of time or be present at the meeting. Okay. So the Zoom possibility is just for information. They can watch what's going on.
Then I don't think I wouldn't be in favor of expending the money to Zoom it. No?
My idea is still a public meeting. If people can't come, at least they can go in there. What's it gonna cost us? To stream. They can't do it. Yeah, that's right. But if they just wanna log in and watch it. Well, if we don't stream it, it's not up to them.
Let's take it, let's move forward to vote on it. I would probably not, I would vote not to Zoom it.
It's up to you to ask for the vote.
Beg your pardon. So all in favor of the Zoom meeting,
In favor of it?
opposed?
Okay.
So move forward is economic development, and I've met with no one regarding economic development, so there's nothing to report. Correspondence, I see none. Late correspondence, we don't have any. No closed session, and move right into adjournment at 10:24.
I'd like to open the committee of the whole for Public Works. Declarations of beginning interest, seeing none. Delegations and presentations, none. We have Scott here, sorry. And we have his monthly report. Any questions? I'll give you a few minutes. How's the snow removal going? Keeps coming back too, eh? Yeah, we didn't get any until December, but we got it since then.
Then it came. Yes.
I do like where I told you off of here, but where they're pushing the banks back, it makes a big difference even on the highway. He's winging them nice and far so when you come out, you can see.
Yeah.
Very good work. And your roads are nice and wide compared to some other places. Okay, nothing else? I'll move on to streetlights. Nothing? Water and sewer. A is a capital or Chalk River Water Treatment Quarterly Operation. Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to the Drinking Water System Quarterly Report. No questions? Ministry of Environment. Any questions on the drinking water system? So while we're talking about that, we did go, me and Sherry, to Petawawa for responsibilities under the statutory standard of care. So there's 4 big things they talked about. There was recognition of your duties, staying informed, exercise vigilance, and a case study. So this thing was a 3.5 hour test with an exam at the end. Yeah, was very informative. The speaker was really good. We got a good marks, didn't we? But the guy was a good speaker, was very well attended and was very informative. There's some stuff we should be doing as counselors that we're not doing, like visiting that place once every 15 years. Just to keep you updated on what's going on in the building, because you are responsible. Remember that. Something goes wrong, we're coming after this group. That was the main thing I get out of his presentations. Be aware of what you own. So other than that, waste site, oh, sorry, Ann.
So having said that, I would, why don't we set a tour date and put that on our calendars for whenever. So I'm sure, like, I can't remember the last time I was in either the water treatment plant or the. Yeah, oh,
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
So
I've been
if-
there in 15 years.
Yeah. So I'm sure.
Yeah, April
Yep,
of the year,
yep.
sometime later in the year. Good idea. Waste sites. Haven't got much update. We haven't had a meeting, but we're having a new member, which is your worship, Ann Giardini is going to be on the board with me after this meeting. Airport. And we were there the other day. Do you want to report?
Sure. So Councillor Boucher and I were there for a tour. Councillor Boucher and I were there for a tour last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was really interesting is that we got to see the hangar that had Seesaw in there, and we got really interesting tour there. There was also a Chalk River resident who was waiting for his son to come in on a bearskin flight. And because of the weather, they were delayed, so we didn't get to see the flight coming in. After that, we had a regular commission meeting, and they've hired one employee, and they've been looking for over 2 years to hire an employee, but they finally got somebody in there, so they're quite happy about that. And the rest of the tour, we didn't really get it all in because some of us were asking quite a few questions.
It was interesting.
Yeah, but it was really time well spent. Yeah.
So that's the airport. Other business I have none. Closed session I have none. Adjournment at 10:29. Thanks,
Okay.
Scott.
Thanks, Scott. So in the absence of a councillor or deputy mayor Brenda Blimke, I will call to order the committee of the whole for community and social services. I have no declarations of pecuniary interest. Delegations and presentations, I see none. And council member has a library update. That would not be me. She's not present. So the library minutes for November 2022 and appointed Alexander reports for the month are attached. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, we'll move on to recreation. And the members absent, so I have nothing to report on that. Moving on to the resource center and nursery school, nothing. Other business, we have no closed session, so I will adjourn that meeting at 10:30.
I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Committee of the Whole for Finance and Personnel. Any declarations of pecuniary interest? None? I've got a whole bunch of little sticky notes here. Okay, what I'd like to add as 5B is a request for sponsorship for a International Women's Day presentation. That's all right with everybody? We'll add an item to that. There's one here.
Was looking for it there.
So I'll continue on in the agenda. There are no delegations and presentations. Anything from administration? Nothing. Financial, we have our comparison to budget as of December 31st, 2022. Are there any comments or questions on that? We are doing quite well. Thank you. Good. Everything looks in order. Okay, go back to my agenda. So item B that I just added is there was a request from Mayor Dion in Deep River to have a table at the International Women's Day event in Deep River. And it's put on by, there's a committee that gets together, and it's mostly held by Maven Catering. And it's an opportunity to celebrate women and to recognize that each person has different circumstances and needs. Means different groups of people need different resources and opportunities. So this table would have the mayor of Head Clara Mariah and their two female councillors, myself and the deputy mayor Blimke, and Mayor Dion and Councillors Giardini and Hughes. I think it's a great opportunity to show not only solidarity with the women, because at county, even though there are 6 mayors, there are only 4 women represented at a table of 17. So I see this as a wonderful opportunity. I did quite a few years ago speak at this event. So I'm really interested and would really like to put a $250 donation, which would give us diamond status at a table. It's $1,000. Deep River would put 500. Head Clermont and Laurentian Hills put $250 each. And we're also paying for our own meal on top of that. So I need a show of hands if we're in favor of a $250 donation. All in favor? Okay, there will be a resolution. Thank you very much.
One question.
Yes.
So we don't have to budget for this?
It would be deferred to the budget as
well, Okay.
if it's approved to have budget.
Just a question.
Yeah, no, fine. Thank you. Any staff or training personnel issues? None. Other business, we have a proposal for the extension of the Integrity Commissioner Services.
Proposal from Cunningham Schwan and an offer of extension from Expertise for Municipalities.
Okay, any discussion on this? I think we all realize the importance of a Integrity Commissioner. I believe we're quite happy with the 2 proposals that are being presented here. And there's a resolution did you have anything you wanted to add, Sherry?
So there is a bylaw that it would be at council meeting. If council is in favor of offering this to Cunningham Schwan, or if you want to extend your current contract.
Councillor Boucher.
Do we have a price of each one?
I don't think we can. I believe that due to, yeah, that would have to be done in a closed session to reveal prices.
Okay, well, I'm not ready to make a decision until I find out how much we're paying each one.
Okay. Cunningham,
Absolutely.
yeah. So what's the procedure here? Yes, Sean, we're going to adjourn for 5 minutes. So we have two proposals in front of us. One is for Cunningham, Schwan, Cardy, Little, and Bonham. And the second one is from EFM, which is Expertise for Municipalities. Any discussion? Councillor McNulty.
I personally, I like the idea of it all being in-house with Cunningham Schwartz, and it's all kind of a one package sale.
Councillor Hoyle.
I second that. It's just nice to have the legal end of it all tied in together with Cunningham Swan, rather than getting a consulting and then have to possibly get legal and pay for that as an extra. I like the idea of having it all together.
Okay, so can we have a vote on a recommendation? We'll bring a recommendation to council to accept the proposal from Cunningham, Swan, Cardy, Little, and Bonham. All in favor? Carried. Okay. I have nothing for closed session, and I will adjourn at 10:41. Sorry, I gotta do all my saving here. Yes. Okay. So I'd like to call to order this meeting, a regular meeting of council for the Corporation of the Town of Laurentian Hills for Thursday, February 23rd at 2023 at 10:42. Any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. We had a delegation at our committee meeting. Adoption of minutes. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by Gary McNulty. Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council of the 18th of January 2023 be adopted as circulated. Discussion. All in favor? Carried. Standing committee reports, moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Bruce Boucher. Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Committee of the Whole for the Protection to Persons and Property of the 18th of January 2023 be adopted as circulated. Discussion, none, all in favor? Carried. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by John Hoyle. Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Committee of the Whole for Public Works of 18th of January 2023 be adopted as circulated. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Any business arising out of the previous minutes? None? Okay, under other reports, moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by John Hoyle. Be it hereby resolved that this council does acknowledge receipt of the Q4 2022 operations reports for the Chalk River drinking water system from Veolia, North America, Canada. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by Gary McNulty. Be it hereby resolved that this council does acknowledge receipt of the Chalk River Wastewater Treatment Plant Quarterly Operations Report Q4 2022 from Veolia, North America, Canada. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by John Hoyle. Be it hereby resolved that this council does acknowledge receipt of the 2022-2023 Chalk River Drinking Water System Inspection Report from the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks dated January 24th, 2023. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. We'll go on to bylaws. Moved by Gary McNulty, seconded by John Hoyle, be it hereby resolved that bylaw number 03-23, being bylaw to appoint an integrity commissioner for the town of Laurentian Hills, be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Discussion? Do we have to note who it is at this time? All in favor? Carried. Oh, I missed that, yes. I'll go back to that after the bylaws, thank you. Moved by Gary McNulty, seconded by Bruce Boucher, be it hereby resolved that bylaw number 0423, being a bylaw to establish the Town of Laurentian Hills Recreation Committee, be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Discussion. So here we have a bylaw, which is our regular bylaw. There's nothing new in this one. And I don't think there's anything different in this one. I think it's the next one. Yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor? Carried. Moved by Gary McNulty, seconded by Bruce Boucher, be it hereby resolved that bylaw number 0520-23, being a bylaw to appoint members to the town's recreation committee, be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Any discussion? So in this bylaw, we name that for the term of council, Charlene Dickerson, Courtney McGillis, and Colleen Bonnet. And the elected members will be Deputy Mayor Brenda Blimke and Councillor Gary McNulty. Okay. All in favor? Carried. Okay, I'll go to my mayor's report. Okay, so mayor's report for the 19th of January to the 23rd of February. On the 19th, as reported, I attended the first airport commission meeting of this term. On the 25th, I attended a regular county council meeting. On the 5th of February, I went to Dundonald Hall and presented medals for the Ontario Winter Games artistic swimming medal winners. It was quite interesting and really, the kids are so excited, so good. And it's a sport I'd never seen. It was quite interesting. On February 10th, I Zoom meeting with the CAO. No, I didn't do that. I missed one up here. On the 2nd, I attended a Zoom meeting with the Renfrew County District Health Unit, and we were introduced to the new acting medical officer of health. On the 15th, I chaired the Renfrew County of Renfrew Housing Corporation meeting and the community services meeting at the county. Information will be forthcoming over the next few months. And the 16th, I attended the county finance and administration meeting. And after that was the airport tour and the airport meeting. February 22nd, yesterday, I attended day 1 of the county council budget workshop. Day 2 is going on right now, and I will join by Zoom whenever this meeting is completed. I must say their budget is quite a bit larger than ours, and it's about 50 pages long. So it's quite an exercise, I must say. And that's it for my mayor's report. Now I gotta find my package. Nope. Okay, approval of accounts. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by John Hoyle, be it hereby resolved that this council does acknowledge receipt of the unaudited statement of revenues and expenses as compared to budget as of the 31st of December, 2022. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. And the auditors, are they have they been and gone or? They've just started. Okay. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by John Hoyle, be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills does authorize the transfer of all surplus funds from the 2022 town budget, 2022 recreation budget, and the 2022 water and sewer budget to the general reserve so that they may be brought forward into the respective 2023 budgets. Any discussion? Councillor
I
McNulty.
know that Chalk River residents pay for their own water and sewer. So if we move their revenue or the general revenue that's been accumulated by those people is moved just into the water and sewer budget, fair enough.
Yes, for sure. Any other discussion? No. All in favor? Carried. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Ms. Batten, yeah.
I have a question for council as to whether you want to establish a dedicated reserve for the money that we are carrying over. If we do a dedicated reserve, it accumulates more interest.
My view on that is yes. Yes,
So we'll bring bylaw to the next meeting to set up that reserve.
okay.
Dedicate that money to.
That's been a project and something we've been talking about for many, many years, and hopefully very soon it'll come to fruition. Councillor Boucher.
Do we have any update on where we are with that? It's been a while. Like,
We are not any further.
oh, okay. How can we get ahead?
We need
We
land.
should form a committee or
We
something.
need land.
Well, the public keeps asking, we have no answers.
Okay, correspondence or no action items? We have a resolution from the County of Huron regarding a call to action, review of the Cannabis Act. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Gary McNulty, be it hereby resolved that the call to action for review of the Cannabis Act and the proposed recommendations for amendments made by the County of Huron be filed or endorsed. Discussion. Councillor Boucher.
So the part I read in there is people smoke at doorways. I know people told me to Lions Hill. When you go out the door, that's all you can smell. I don't know if that's up to us or to Lions Hill to make them go further away from the door.
Mhm.
I would support that if that's what.
There is legislation as to how far away you have to be from schools and playgrounds, but I don't think there is one for the Lions Hall.
Okay, thank you.
Any more discussion?
Is
Councillor.
the issue we're having at the Lions Hall for the instance, does that not fall under like the tobacco side of things? Like you can't smoke within so many meters of a door. Can we enforce that? Or?
Ms. Batten.
We can make the Lions aware that we've been made aware that the smell is there outside their facility.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Carried. Oh, sorry, file or endorse? Endorse, endorse. Carried. Next is a resolution from the City of Thunder Bay regarding Bill 42, Gender Affirming Healthcare Act. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Gary McNulty, be it hereby resolved that the resolution from the City of Thunder Bay in support of passing of Bill 42, an act to establish the Gender Affirming Healthcare Advisory Committee be filed or endorsed. Any discussion? I'd like to endorse this. All in favor? Councillor Boucher.
What are they asking? I didn't catch that all.
Asking to form an advisory committee.
All in favor of endorsing? Endorse? Endorse. Carried. Item C is a thank you from the Office of the Prime Minister for Council's resolution regarding the taxation of home heating fuel. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Gary McNulty. Be it hereby resolved that the resolution from the town of Petrolia requesting that school boards become responsible for conducting their own. That's not right. Sorry, I read the wrong. Action item C is a resolution from the town of Essex and the town of Petrolia regarding Ontario school board elections. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Gary McNulty. Be it hereby resolved that the resolution from the town of Petrolia requesting that school boards become responsible for conducting their own trustee elections, or at a minimum that municipalities be compensated by the school boards for overseeing such trustee elections, be filed or endorsed.
I endorse this as we just had an election where we had to still run the ballots and everything. It costs the same to do just the school board as it does to do the whole thing. So I support this 100%.
Okay,
I concur with Councillor Hoyle.
all in favor of endorsing? Carried. We have 3 information items. We have the county council summary. Any comments? Thank you from the Chalk River Lions Club for sponsoring the magic show. And we have a thank you from the Office of the Prime Minister. So moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by Gary McNulty. Be it hereby resolved that all items of correspondence be filed. All in favor? Carried. So we have new business. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Bruce Boucher. Be it hereby resolved that this council of Town of Laurentian Hills does acknowledge receipt of the treasurer's 2022 statement of council remuneration and expenses as authorized by bylaw number 1522. Any discussion? None, all in favor? Carried. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Bruce Boucher. Be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills does approve that all members of council may attend AMO's virtual training, Foundations in Planning for Elected Officials, at a cost of $250 plus applicable taxes per person. Discussion. So do you want numbers on that? Ms. Patton?
If people do want to attend it, I would like numbers so that forms part of the budget. This is just authorizing them because of the dates that it is available to attend.
I believe there are a number of dates already. Yeah, so there are 5 dates given and 2 of them are already sold out. So I would recommend that if people are interested that we go ahead and register on our own, or
I will send out council some additional information if they tell me they want to attend, and with new dates, because most of the dates have sold out already.
okay, do you want show now to know who's
No, they can contact me when they've decided that they want to take it.
okay, so the longer we wait, you realize that the longer it take, you may not get in the date you want. So recommend that you do it as sooner rather than later. Okay, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Gary McNulty, seconded by Bruce Boucher. Be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills amends resolution number 184-20-22 and appoints Mayor Giardini and Councillor Boucher to the North Renfrew Landfill Operations Board. Discussion. This is, sorry. No. Okay. Yes, I've been the chair for the last 4 years. Yeah. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by Gary McNulty. Be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills accepts the Deep River and District Hospital Foundation's curling bonspiel challenge and will provide a team entry donation of $300. Discussion. Councillor Boucher.
So seeing that a lot of the councils are laid up now, I wonder if staff would like to go.
That would be my recommendation as well. So I don't believe have we heard back from all 5 councillors? No,
I didn't
Okay.
distribute that email.
I had originally
Okay.
just to, yeah. Okay, so what it is, it's a 4-person team, I believe. Yeah. So in the absence of council, could you open that up to staff?
I certainly can.
Okay, thank you.
So is anyone here willing to go from council? Gary? No? John? I got broken ribs, so I'm not going curling.
I'm out of town and I know that Councillor Blimke had said that Deputy Mayor Blimke had said that she would be attending. We'll have to confirm that with her based on her absence today. So I guess the other thing is to go ahead.
Perhaps we could interest some of the people on the fire department.
I would recommend we open it up to the town staff first and then to the volunteer. Yeah. So with this comes a $300 donation that I believe should not be paid out of the pockets of our
Would we move
representatives.
forward with the donation if we cannot get a team together?
I would recommend that as well. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So will that be left with you to get a hold of the hospital or do you want me? Like the original invitation came to me. We can discuss that, how we, yeah, okay. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Bruce Boucher. Be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills acknowledges receipt of the request for a donation from the Renfrew County 55+ Seniors Games and defers the request to the 2023 budget workshop for discussion. I'm in favor of doing as per the resolution. We'll discuss it at budget. All in favor? Carried. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Gary McNulty. Be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills acknowledges receipt of the North Renfrew Family Services correspondence regarding their 2023 budget projected shortfall and defers the correspondence to the 2023 budget workshop for discussion. Councillor Boucher.
Did we already give something to them, I believe, in our budget?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
So we have a $500 standing, $5,000.
5,000, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So this will be discussed at budget?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by John Hoyle. Be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills acknowledges receipt of the correspondence from Laura Nelson regarding community garden plots. Any discussion on this? I have.
What will it entail from our staff if this is something that went ahead?
So we would have to identify an area that we could fence and supply water to for a community garden. Typically, the Horticultural Society is involved in that. So right now it's unknown, but definitely you can't have community plots. You can have them not fenced, but they're subject to a lot of animals and people walking through.
I don't think the ones at Deep River are fenced, eh?
Not all,
The-
no,
I don't think so, like the ones at Groves Park and that are.
yeah, yeah.
You can
Depends where they
leave
are.
it that way
Yeah.
and let it go. I know the town of Petawawa Horticulture Society ended up fencing theirs. There was a lot of trespassing of people that didn't buy a plot, and there was a lot of animals too.
Okay.
So this could be forwarded, ask her to contact the Horticultural Society, because they would know the requirements for something like this, like, what do I have here? Parking, the type of land, water access, they can, they have more experience than we would. And we could identify what we have based on their recommendations.
Yeah, I definitely, I think it's something that I would be interested in pursuing if it's feasible
Mhm.
for our residents.
Yeah, for sure.
So you would like a report from staff to come back to identifying an area first, if we have any?
Is that what we want? Yeah, okay. Okay, so do we need to add to this resolution, or do we're just accepting the correspondence? Okay. All in favor? Carried. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Gary McNulty, be it hereby resolved that this council of the town of Laurentian Hills approves a monetary contribution of $250 towards a joint sponsorship of the 2023 International Women's Day Gala Dinner to be held on the 8th of March, 2023. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. This also involves our logo being placed on the advertising that they do and at their tables. Moved by John Hoyle, you guys in your signatures. Moved by John Hoyle, seconded by Bruce Boucher, be it hereby resolved that bylaw number 06-23, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Town of Laurentian Hills meeting held on February 23rd, 2023, do now be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Moved by Bruce Boucher, seconded by John Hoyle, be it hereby resolved that this meeting of the Council of the Town of Laurentian Hills do now adjourn at 11:07 a.m. All in favor? Carried.